Hello everyone, this is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane. Welcome to our beginners class, 10-minute class that is concentrating on the cat and cow and child's pose. This is a class for those people who have never ever done yoga before. Or there may be people who are beginners that want to know exactly how to do something, a pose that they've been doing for a long time but don't know the basics of it or the fundamentals of it. So let me take you right to it. The first one is child's pose. You're going to come onto your hands and knees. This is called an all-four position or a tabletop. You'll hear either one. And when you're in this position, your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. You start here. And then you press into a child's pose where your bottom is resting on your heels or towards your heels. Arms are on the ground, forehead resting on the ground as well. Now, not everyone is able to touch their forehead to the ground, and not everybody is able to bring their bottom to as close as I am to my heels. The options are you can take a block or a cushion. You can always sit on it like this and place it. Not everybody, if you're beginner, most likely you won't have blocks, or you might not. Feel free to put a cushion underneath or between your calves and your bottom. The other option for the forehead too is to take a block or a cushion or something where you can place your forehead on the block. If that you don't have either one of those, what I have done in the past when I was just learning, I would take two fists, one fist, then another fist, place it on top of one another, and my forehead gets placed on top of the fists. And the purpose behind that is we want our forehead to be resting on something, because what that does is it has an effect on our nervous system. And when our forehead is resting on something, we automatically feel relaxed. It has a calming effect. This is so when you're in a yoga class and you're asked to go into child's, this is a child's pose. Knees can be wide or closer together or together. If they're together, or slightly apart, they will stretch out your lower back. If they're wide, where your big toes are touching and your knees are about as wide as the mat, that will stretch out the full length of your spine, but also your hips. So it's what you need at that time. Okay, that's child's pose. Now, come back up with me to the tabletop position I talked about, or the all fours. Cat and cows. These are two postures. This is called a flow. It's a basic flow. Flow is when you have one or more or two or more yoga postures. You're doing them together. So what happens is it becomes a flow. And this is the most basic because you have the cat and cow. And the cat is where you're rounding the spine. Make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. And the cat stretch is where you drop your head, you look behind you, and you lift the belly button towards the spine. And this is called the cat shape. This is a cat shape. Cat stretch. And then inhaling into your cow, where you take your tailbone tilts upwards, your belly softens. So there's a little bit of a hanging of the tummy muscles. Chest reaches forward. This opens up the front of the body, especially the chest, but also the lower back. It stretches it out, and then as you exhale, you're going into a cat stretch. You're going to stretch out the middle back and your neck. And then when you you'll notice, as you'll feel it as you move through these postures, where your body is experiencing the stretch. And the cow stretches, you're feeling this wonderful stretch in your lower back, which is a great one to feel. These two work well for for everyone, but especially those whose back is tired from sitting for too long, or you have any back issues, any problems with your back pain. So back and forth. This is you're combining the cat and cow, which equals a flow, which means flow in yoga. And you're rounding through the spine into your cat. You exhale as you do that. Inhaling into your cow, and then that's when you take that deep breath in. And then you exhale, pull the belly in and up towards the spine, round. So do this with me for a few more breaths. Inhaling, if you're just watching me, come and join me. Rounding through the spine into your cat stretch. Then inhaling, taking a deep breath in through the nose into your cow shape. Lift your heart, tilt your tailbone up. Exhaling, rounding, dropping your head. Inhaling, cow again. Now the chin can lift a little bit. And then exhaling into your cat stretch, the chin tucks towards your chest, looking backwards. Inhaling, opening, lifting through the chest, tilting the tailbone up, feeling that wonderful stretch in your lower back. And then exhaling, rounding, and feeling that sense of opening up the back, the upper back, the upper back, the middle back. And then inhaling, opening up the chest and the lower back. And then press back from here into your child's pose. Let your arms settle back down. Find the place to rest your forehead. Maybe have that cushion or block ready for you to stretch. With time, because the child's pose is a quad stretch and also a top of the leg stretch, you'll feel that. And it's also a stretch for your lower back and your glute muscles. For many of us, we're very, very tight in this area. That's why some of us barely touch our heels. We're not even close. With time, this is a very gentle way of eventually, it could take weeks, it could take months to get to the point maybe where you see I am, or if you're watching videos, yoga videos, and you see how easily the teachers can go into these poses, and you're looking at them thinking, I can't do that. Well, you can with time. You'll get closer and closer without forcing it. Allow yourself to be there for just a moment. So just a recap of what we did. Child's pose. Coming back up into what they call all fours or tabletop. Just take a peek, wrists under shoulders, knees are under hips. Inhaling into a cow stretch where you tilt your tailbone up as if you have a tail, lifting up. Lift your chest forward. Exhaling into your cat stretch, tailbone tucks down, drop your head, pull the belly in and up and create that rounding of the middle back. Inhaling into the cow again, and then exhaling into your cat stretch, and then pressing back into your child's pose. And those are the main things. So we've actually talked about 4 things. I would, as a beginner yogi, I would start with just those. Because if you did this every day, you would find within a few days what a difference your body will feel. Back-wise, you'll start to actually tone your tummy muscles, stretch out all these tight muscles, the thighs, the bottoms, and the tops of the feet as well, because you're sitting on your heels. All these muscles are working. Begin with that, and then I will take you in the next session into I will teach you another basic yoga posture. These are all postures you'll be doing in any yoga class. So thank you for being with me. I hope you enjoyed this. And don't forget to subscribe. Just tap the button on the right hand side and so that you'll get indications of my classes, and comment, ask some questions, make suggestions, ask questions, and give me a thumbs up. Otherwise, thank you so much. Namaste, everyone. This is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane. I'll see you soon.